And it's the new year, and we promised you some new stuff. So this time I have a very special guest with me. This is Dr. Alok Trivedi. He's a very close friend of mine, he's my mentor, and he is what is known to be a human behavior and a psychological performance expert. He's worked with people, from Olympic athletes to big corporations, to very high performing people, and helped them with all sorts of different things. So first of all, I'll let him explain exactly what it is that he does.
Well, thanks, Dr. Vyas. Thanks for having me, man.
You're welcome.
Human performance and human behavior, it really comes down to this. It's really about taking control of your thoughts, habits, and actions in order to perform better, to be able to do the things that you want with your life.
That's what we all need, don't we, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. So why I have him here is, again, because the big topic of what we were discussing is things like New Year's resolutions. Why don't people keep them? That's the big thing, right? Everyone makes a resolution. I make them all the time. But what is it that we just have trouble keeping them?
Well, I think the delusion that sits with resolutions is that people make them too big. And what I mean by that is they set fantasies for themselves versus true methodical strategies of resolutions. Let me give you an example of this, right? Like in your world, you deal with a lot of people with weight loss.
Right.
It's a number one resolution, and of course, everyone tries to say, I want to lose an extra 50 pounds. And most people will say, my resolution this year is to lose 50 pounds or to stop smoking or to do this, and they're going to, or stop caffeine or whatever it is they're going to do, right? And they make this big resolution for themselves, but they don't have a strategy, a simple format or a process in order to get there. So what they'll say is, I got to lose 50 pounds. That's my resolution this year.
Right.
Okay, instead of saying that, because that's difficult. You know this and I know this.
It's a big goal, yes.
It's a big goal.
Right.
Now you got to lose that weight, you got to change your diet, you got to change your exercise, sleeping patterns, people, meditation, maybe the people you hang around with, that weekend activities. All these things have to change in order for you to lose 50 pounds.
We don't think about that.
You don't think about that.
We always think about, I want to lose 50 pounds.
Just 50 pounds. Instead,
Right.
if you said to yourself, chunk it down to a simple process, I want to lose 5 pounds a month. That becomes a strategy, a simple process that you can attain. Anybody can attain 5
Sounds
pounds a
doable,
month.
right? Then it sounds actually small and doable.
And the thing is you're going to succeed.
Right.
And when you create the succeeding philosophy in your mind, what's going to happen is you're going to create a belief that you can do this, and you can do this again, and you can do this again. Because if you can do it once, you can do it twice.
Do it again. Very true.
And you can do it 10 times to get you to get that 50 pounds.
Very true. So that is very true. So what you're saying is, again, make small achievable goals and just kind of, keep track of them and just go from there.
That's right.
That sounds perfect, right? That sounds like something we can actually do. So instead of looking at the big picture of just the 50 pounds, if you're thinking about 5 pounds every month, that's 10 months and you've lost 50 pounds.
That's it.
So that's amazing, right? That definitely sounds like something that could be doable.
It's completely doable.
So then what stops people? What is the whole thing that sometimes, it sounds very easy for me. 5 pounds, I can do that. So why won't I do it?
It's a good question, right? Everyone knows this pervasive philosophy that's out there. What's your why? You got to know your why. Got to know your why. Everyone's heard of it, and it's utter nonsense.
Okay.
It really is. Let me tell you why. Because if I said to someone that needs to lose 50 pounds, that, if I could take off that 50 pounds like that, would you do it? The answer is yes.
Right, yes.
Right? So we say that the desire is there. People want to lose 50 pounds.
Right.
But what stops them is the why not. Because they've had this weight on for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years even.
Right.
They haven't been able to take that weight off because, not that they don't want to, it's because there's the why not. What's stopping you from actually getting the result you want? Understand the why not, eliminate that roadblock in the way, and you'll get the why.
So when you say why not for a person, a why would be, yes, they want to get their health better. So what's the why not?
Well, maybe they strategically don't want to lose more weight because they think that they're going to be more attractive and they don't want to get hit on by more people.
Interesting.
I've had cases and scenarios where people have strategically all weight, I'll go ahead and say this, all weight that people hold on to has a strategy that they hold on to stop them from actually getting to that next place.
Big psychological thing with all this stuff, right?
It all starts in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
And then comes down to the body. So if you can get yourself to understand what your why not is, get over that why not, you'll drop the weight, you'll get whatever goal you want to go for. And that's when the resolutions stick.
That's a big secret. There you go. So we're learning a few things that actually make us understand why and why not people have this trouble losing the weight.
Yeah.
So anything else you would like to add maybe with none of this stuff?
And let's just go back to weight, right?
Right.
I say give yourself cheat days. Give yourself permission
Very true.
to cheat because you know what's going to happen. And if you create an absolute resolution that you can never,
Right.
ever have that slice of pizza, you're not going to stick to it.
Yeah, then you start getting those cravings all the time.
You start getting the cravings, and you would know more about that than anyone else would.
Right.
But what happens is that psychologically, you'll sit and say, well, oh, I cheated. I had that slice of pizza. Now the whole thing is gone to hell.
Right.
Instead of saying, you know what, I've given myself permission to have one day that's a semi-cheat day. And I'm allowed to have a couple slices of pizza.
Right.
And that's okay for today. And you give yourself permission to veer off of your strategy just for a little bit to come back onto it.
Makes sense, because that's very true. People that are or do have certain cheat days, we have seen that they are actually more, they come back because they're like, yeah, I had my little thing, it's okay, but it didn't feel good. Now I'm going to come back to it and stick with my diet
That's
again.
right.
So we've seen that. So that's a big thing. So we've got, 3 different strategies for you to use to kind of help you stick to your resolutions. And these are not just simple things like, oh yeah, make small plans. You just heard what he said. It all goes back to how we think
It is.
and what you're thinking.
Yeah.
So, I hope this information has helped you, and we definitely look forward to having Dr. Trivedi once more. If he'll come back
For sure.
and see how, because he's been featured on lots of different TV shows. He's been all over the Canadian news. He was on the Canada television.
Yeah, we were on Global News last
Global
week
News.
talking about resolutions. Been on FHM, WGN last week.
So
Yeah.
you're hearing it right here, and he's been all over the place. So we really thank him for spending some time with us here. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below. Hope you enjoyed this show, and let us know if there's something else, some new questions that you may have that we might ask some experts on. So, all right, hope this helps. I'll see you in the next video.